All right, welcome back to another Surfside Recovery podcast. My name is Brian Licata. What do you think of my shirt? So this is week number 2 of my summer shirt festives. Ian is giving me a face like he doesn't like it. I think my mother bought this for me.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad shirt. I wouldn't consider it a summer shirt. I think it doesn't
You could
count.
not wear this.
All right, well, you said to judge them, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 2.
A 2. So what are you judging your scale on?
Well, 1 would be you don't have a shirt on.
Are you judging it based off of quality of summer shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. How about quality of shirt? Period. I feel like a 5. 6. I like this one.
3.
Because you can kind of wear it. It can be sort of dressy or it can be super casual.
I mean, it looks... You should get a sick anchor tattooed on your chest.
Can't do tattoos, man. Mother doesn't want me to have them. So, Gail, this is coming directly to you from the boss man. So, I owe my mother lots of money, my mother and father. And
Bonnie G wants to kill me.
Yeah, I know.
She thinks it's all my fault. Nick's mother.
So my mother said she doesn't mind if I get a tattoo, but she'll be very angry with me if I get a tattoo before I pay her back for all the money that I owe her.
Totally understandable.
So that's it. So then I even said, well, what if I get a gift card to get a tattoo done? She didn't like that.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to get you a gift card at one point.
Yeah, she didn't like that. She didn't like that idea. So to be honest, like I don't really, I think tattoos are cool. Like I like looking at them. I like them on people, but I've never felt so compelled to get one.
My dad hates my tattoos.
I'm sure.
Hates them.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. And you just, you're inching up now, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes.
I noticed that.
We are creeping.
Huh. Good for you, man. I mean, if you like them, if that's something that you enjoy getting, or I don't really get the fixation on them, but I think they're cool. I definitely think they're cool. Oh, I don't know. How do you think you're going to like them when you're like 75?
I don't think I'm going to care.
Okay.
I mean, I literally have tattoos that I forget I have.
Like you forget you
like
got
I have Daryl. It's like you know that weird mole that you have?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. Like you forget you have it.
It's been there forever until I look at it.
And then every once in a while you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, forgot about that.
Huh.
And then you go on and forget about it again.
Do you ever like just wake up and you're like, whoa?
Every once in a while I'll like see a picture or something and be like, damn, I got a lot of tattoos.
Okay. How about like picture from the past where you don't have that many? You're like, wow, I've gotten a lot since then. No, never feel like that.
No.
I get that sometimes. Like I just trim my beard down again. I don't like when it starts to get like lower and lower and lower. So then I eventually trim it down and then let it grow up higher.
Huh?
So what happens is when I go
because you get that fancy line.
Yeah, I like to have clean lines on my beard, and after I trim it, because I shave with the straight razor myself, but after every 7 or 8 haircuts, the line gets lower and lower and lower because the barber's trying to get a clean line,
Absolutely.
so it's going lower, and I've already made it lower. So once it starts to become like real chin strappy, I'm like, I got to cut it down. So I won't shave for a while. So when I trim it down to like this length, it's then even. But like a couple days after I do that, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, whoa. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I shaved because I'm used to looking at myself with a beard, and then when I don't have it. But I kind of like this length I'm at now. I think I'm gonna keep it here for the summertime.
I have this funny thing with tattoos where I look at some people and I see some people who are heavily tattooed, and I think they look very trashy. And then I look at other people who are heavily tattooed, and I don't think it looks bad at all.
So do you think that is dependent on the style of tattoo or the person who has the tattoo?
I've talked about that with my wife. I don't know.
She has a lot of tattoos too, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Which her parents also blame me.
Right.
Everyone always blames me.
Well, okay. Now let's go with this. Did she have any before
you
guys started dating?
Yeah.
Like a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
You're just a pincushion.
she had some.
Mm-hmm. But also, I can see why they blame you because you just told me I should get an anchor tattoo in my chest.
So, I got a buddy at the gym that I keep telling him he should get like a sick tiger chest piece, like a big tiger like thing like right on his chest. It'd be sick.
Just because you want him to?
Yeah, it would be awesome. I don't know. For some reason, I look at some people with tattoos and I think they're trashy, and then I look at other people and I think, oh, they look good. I don't know.
I think I've thought the same thing. I think if I ever decide to get one, it'll definitely be not black and white's the right term, but all black. What do you
like? Let me give you a for instance, like neck tattoos. Mm-hmm. Like I would not get a neck tattoo. I told my wife the other day I was going to get a teardrop. It's like I'm joking. I'm not getting my face tattooed. It's like, but maybe a spider,
right?
But like for instance,
you should just
like,
get the Surfside tattoo logo,
the logo right in my forehead.
Yeah. Who do you work for?
Surfside. No, like so some people will have like throat tattoos, like big, like gnarly, like sick, like throat pieces.
Yeah, I know a kid who has it's like a bird. It's really cool looking.
But then there's other people who have like a whatever,
right? Some sort
the
of
word hope or something,
right.
like
Chinese symbol or something like
on
that
their side of their neck, and like that looks really trashy, and that it just looks cleaner. But again, I wouldn't get a.
So I think it's what the tattoo is of. I think that's what it is with you. Yeah, it's what the tattoo's of. I like a lot of you guys have those traditional tattoos. I think they're really cool. I also like.
I wish I had. See, that's one thing about my tattoos. Like, I wish I would have done that prior
from the beginning. Yeah. So
they show better.
Which one was first?
I had.
There's a story behind this.
I had a tattoo on my back.
Okay. You gonna tell us what it was or no?
Nope.
Okay.
I had a tattoo on my back that I got when I was 16.
Got it.
I was incredibly high on cocaine.
Was the person doing it also high on coke?
Yep. And he was doing it in his house. And he thought it was a good idea. And I thought it was a great idea. I passed out. Blood everywhere. It was an absolute disaster.
Was it like stick and poke tattoo?
Oh, no. It was like a real tattoo. Yeah, it was a disaster. I mean, they hurt.
Right.
I was 16. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was badass, bro.
I'm sorry, messed up.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll tell you in person. I have no problem telling you in person.
Right. Publicly, though. Different story. I get it. You know.
So I'm going to say what it is because if you're a parent right now and you're listening and you're thinking that your son or daughter is a complete idiot and you hope that they never get their shit together, or that you're hoping that one day they get their shit together, maybe this will give you some hope. I had Roman numerals for 69.
Oh my God.
Tattooed in the middle of my back. Are you drooling? Brian is drooling. That's how funny he thinks this is.
Out of my mouth. Oh my God.
So there's hope, folks.
See, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't want to get any, because I don't want like 10 years down the road be like,
well, you get it covered up. I mean,
bad idea.
Well, I got it covered up. You wouldn't even know. I mean, you'd never know.
Oh man, the longer and longer I've known you, the more and more I like you, man. That's hysterical.
I'm a treat. What can I say? I'm a treat.
All right, so switching gears from tattoos.
Somebody commented on something.
Yeah, so what did I have written down here? Oh, we got a comment from somebody on YouTube who talked about, they said that we have a different philosophy on people, places, and things, and if we could elaborate on that.
I don't know what that meant.
Yeah, did you know who it was?
No.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was either.
They actually had left like 3 different comments on different podcasts.
Oh, really? Yeah, see, I'm not hooked up on the YouTube channel, so I don't get those when they come in unless you send them to me. So what's your philosophy on people, places, and things, just so we can set the record straight? Because I don't know what information this person knows or thinks they know.
I think...
All right, you know what? Let me break it down to you like this, right? Okay, so a kid is 2 months sober, right? Just got out of rehab, maybe been out for like
30 days.
Yeah. I think the better way to do it is, okay, so a person is in treatment now, right? And they're talking about their aftercare plan and they're worried about people, places, and things. What is your suggestion or your recommendation?
I think that they do whatever they're being told to do, whatever that may be. the clinical team is going to ideally know best. If the clinical team has been paying inkling a bit of attention to the person, they should understand what would be good and what would not be good for the person. So ideally, and I say this all the time, it's the sole job of the clinical team, including case management or continuing care, whatever you want to call them. It's their sole job to make sure that that person doesn't come back. So if the addict, alcoholic, whatever, person in recovery,
right,
trying to be in recovery, whatever you want to call them, the patient, client, has a fucking half a clue of a brain, they would just do what these people told them to do.
Right.
Versus the like, I really want to go home.
Right.
Thing.
I was always down to just go somewhere else. I was always about trying to try out a new place. I'm like, whatever, let's do it. Maryland, sure. North Carolina, sure. What the hell? Ventnor, never been.
Let's go.
It's by the beach. Let's do it. Let's lose it. I'm all for it.
I mean, people, places, and things, like, for those of you who don't know, if there was a book written like the yellow and black, like Dog Walking for Dummies or Being Gluten-Free for Dummies, like if there was like a Addiction for Dummies book, it'd have one page in it and it would say avoid people, places, and things.
Very well said. Yeah, don't.
I mean, it really would. Like, so the idea is that you stay away from old people, old places, and old things, right? Because these are triggering behavior.
Yeah, I think the term people, places, and things is kind of misconstrued the way people think about it, Like, I think people think that, like, you'll stay sober if you avoid people, places, and things, which I guess in essence may be true, maybe not. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe, right? The human mind I think remembers 30% of what happens in the last 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. I'm never going to forget about that tattoo.
It's real. So, like, you may remember that, like, Johnny is an idiot and you shouldn't hang out with Johnny, but that doesn't mean, like, after you see Jenny that you, like, remember Jenny's an idiot.
Right. Tilt that up a little bit. I'm losing you. There you go.
So, I think it's really important for people to remember that, like, not one of these, like, sayings, these catchphrases are suitable for long-term recovery. Like, are they great little tips? Sure. Avoid people, places, and things. Like, the thing that gets me the most, and so if you're a LPC, licensed professional counselor, LCSW, and you're fresh out of school, please listen to what I'm about to say. You in school learn about person-centered treatment. Mm-hmm. You will kill somebody who's suffering from addiction if you use person-centered treatment. Person-centered treatment is whatever the client wants is what you work with. So if Brian wants to go home, it's person-centered. Well, he wants to go home. Let's let him go home. That's person-centered.
So they would try to do is, like, figure out the best way or try to set them up for the best chance of success with what they want to do.
Sure.
Right? They try to align those two things.
But you're allowing the insane to dictate their treatment.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Which makes you insane.
Yeah.
Right? You can't you can't let the sick be smarter than the healer. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's just it's just ignorance on the part of
super ignorant. So the idea with people, places, and things is like you can't sit in treatment or anywhere for that matter, and talk about, like, avoiding people, places, and things, avoiding these triggers, avoiding, like, old places, bad people, whatever, and then tell the person to go home.
Right.
Or go back to what they were doing. Check this one out. Avoid people, places, and things. Mm-hmm. Johnny's getting high at work. So what do they tell him to do? Well, make sure you get a job right when you get out of treatment so you can stay active.
Right.
He was just getting high at work. If a job was going to keep him sober, he wouldn't be in treatment. Mm-hmm. So, we have to look at some of this stuff in context. I mean, if you get high in your hometown with mom and dad, if your kid is getting high in the house and you think that him coming back home is going to be helpful for him to stay sober, you're nuts. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I know what I had to do is I had to get, and like I said, I've also tried the straight up like geographical change and didn't make any other sort of changes. So that didn't work. But I was excited when I came down here because I'm from Camden County and I'm not too terribly far away from my hometown. But I'm still close enough. I'm still close enough to home where I can go back up and see my parents whenever I really want to.
Which is ideal.
Right, which is definitely ideal. I don't envy anybody who has to come from wherever when, if they got anything longer than like an hour car ride away from their home. Like, I don't like that. I think I'm perfectly like a good distance,
We say our perfect resident is from an hour to 4 hours away.
Okay.
It's manageable. Right, like they come from an hour to 4 hours away.
Right.
It's manageable. It's far enough that they can still get home overnight, on the weekends,
right.
whatever,
Short
without
trip.
getting in a plane, day trip.
Right.
Parents can come visit, but it's not so far.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because we also see many, right, like many of the young adults that try to get sober go somewhere, Florida, Arizona, California, wherever it is.
Right.
They do okay for a period of time, and then eventually they want to go home.
Right.
They don't want to be on the other side of the country.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a generation that is literally mid-20s before they ever like move out on their own.
Right.
So to think that like they're in their mid-20s living with mom and dad, and then they're going to go to like Florida to get sober. They get sober, they're there for 2 years, and then are just going to like stay is kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. So they eventually come back. Well, if we're avoiding people, places, and things, you've just taken someone that's 2 years sober and brought them back into the old environment with zero network. Right. And I've seen it over and over, like people just snowball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I've been super, wary of. There was a slight consideration at one point that I was going to move up towards like the Glassboro area at some point, but I was like, I'm just not ready to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not. There's no reason to rush and move up there.
But like your life is not there.
No, definitely not. I've taken 2 years to build a life down here, and I love it.
And that's what I'm saying is like you're part of this community. Mm-hmm. So when you take someone like addict or not, like that moving is incredibly difficult and it's incredibly stressful.
Yep.
So to have someone adjust to a community and be a part of that community for a year or 6 months or 2 years or whatever, and then pull them and send them back to that old place, it's just bad for business. I mean,
right.
I've moved 7 times since I've been sober, and I wouldn't recommend that for anybody.
Right.
Like every single time I move, it's gotten harder and harder and harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, a really good friend of mine moved down from like Bristol area and moved down here, had a couple years sober, and said it was really, really, really hard to get like acclimated because they got sober up there, whole networks up there, and then just like coming down here, and
it's different.
It was just tough. And, like,
I mean, me and Nick, we talk about this with therapists and people who refer, like, to send somebody like really far away just doesn't make sense. Like,
right.
An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours away, like 4 hours away, there's plenty.
Yeah,
plenty.
4 hours is like the most I'd ever really want to drive, like on a day trip. You know what I mean?
And
like,
not for nothing. There's not a million. There's 20 quality programs.
Right.
Within a 4 hour drive from here.
Uh-huh.
Pennsylvania, Maryland.
Send them somewhere closer.
Connecticut, right. Massachusetts, Maine, even. Maine's a little farther, but you know what I mean? My idea is always that people go and then they grow. Mm-hmm. And a lot of you guys who are listening to this who've come through Surfside, I'll tell your parents, the idea is that you stay forever. I mean, not in Surfside, but in the community, right? And maybe not forever, but at least that you get grounded and get jobs. And I mean, if you look at the guys who've done the best, every one of them, they have become a part of the community.
Right.
They're doing it.
I tell you what, man, I love living in Ventnor. It's so cool, like in the summertime, or even not in the summertime. Like
the buzz is starting to happen.
yeah,
right now.
it's great. It's like
yeah.
electric. It's like you feel like all right, town's coming alive again. Like I love it. Like I don't really mind the crowd either.
It's not bad. We don't have it bad.
No, it's not that bad. I mean, Margate gets a little bit crowded, but Atlantic City is always the same. You know, it might be a little bit harder to find a parking spot, but I've never like had to circle blocks.
Atlantic City's gross.
Yeah, that's another story. I was coming back from Absecon, and I was driving through Atlantic City because I take the tunnel to come back. I think that's the fastest way. And I was coming back.
Oh, Route 30.
Yeah,
I know
to get to Route 30.
Yeah,
so you go up
Yep.
past the convention center. I was driving to it. I'm like, man, it's crazy that like 3 miles down the road is Margate from here, and then 4 miles down the road from this is Longport.
So what happened was the casinos bought all the beachfront.
Mm-hmm.
So they pushed, so the casinos bought the beachfront in Atlantic City, and then everybody else with money bought beachfront in Brigantine, Ventnor, Margate, and Longport, and Ocean City. So it forced everybody with low income to move in the back.
Back towards the bay.
Pushed everybody in the back.
Yeah, I just recently started watching Boardwalk Empire, and
I wonder if that's how it really was.
well, yeah, I mean, so it was sort of like that, but the guy.
Do you know the house that Surfside is in is Nucky Thompson's house?
Really?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
I mean, it's in the deed.
No way.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
It's not true. That'd be cool, right?
So the real guy's name was.
And there's $1 million buried under the.
Yeah, that's how we're building the addition on the back.
Yeah, under Sherman's room.
So the real guy's name was Nucky Johnson. That was like the actual politician's name. And in the show, they changed it to Thompson so they could have creative freedom. Yep. So little known fact, it's probably not that little known, but something I like to do is IMDb, the database for like movies and TV shows. They have a section for trivia. So anytime I'm watching like a new show or a new movie, I look up the trivia about it. Because, you know, being in the film, like sometimes I hear some cool stuff about how they either shot a scene or just
I
some,
just
like,
watched Harry Potter.
You never seen it before?
No.
It's fantastic.
It's awesome.
Which one did you watch? The first one?
I have to watch the last one.
Oh, wow.
I watched like 6 episodes.
Oh, fantastic. Episodes are movies.
Well, yeah.
They're like 2-hour movies. They're great.
It's great.
They're great. Those books were fantastic, but
I want Hermione and Harry to hook up.
Okay.
I feel like it's a love mix waiting to happen,
Right.
but I hear it never happens. It's what's his name, Richard or Ralph or whatever the kid's name is.
Ron Weasley.
Weasley.
Yeah, Weasley. So
Dingledore.
Dumbledore. So anyway, back on track. Boardwalk Empire is loosely based around.
How is Boardwalk
the events.
Empire on track?
Huh?
How did Boardwalk
No,
Empire...
it's not really on track, but it was a point I was trying to make.
Go.
You asked me the question. The answer to the question
Got it. Go.
is that it's somewhat based on events that happened.
Yep.
They took a lot of creative liberty with it. And I might add, they didn't do it all that well. There's a lot of plot holes in it. After the second season, when a certain character gets killed, I won't ruin it for anybody. The show just kind of went downhill in my eyes. But I'm definitely going to see it through now. Like I've watched 3 seasons. There's only 5. So I gotta finish it.
So anyway, people, places, and things.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad advice, but it's not all the advice.
It's like I'd like to say that some of getting sober is really just common sense. Like, don't be an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it's like,
Yeah.
and then you talk to the newcomer and they're like, oh, well, you know, she does heroin, but like, she knows that I'm clean. Like, really?
Yeah.
Your self-esteem is that low that you need to hang out with someone who's doing dope? Like, really? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I spoke at a meeting last night, and I always have trouble. It was supposed to be an hour long. Like it was an hour-long speaker meeting, and I didn't get to the end because I always have trouble, like just coming up with stuff to say because I don't want a war story for too long, and I'm also like, yeah, I don't know what to say. There's not much because it's super simple. Like I went through the steps, stop drinking, I help other people go through the steps, and I try not to be an asshole. Thanks for letting me share. It's like all the advice I ever really have for anybody. So it's like, I don't know what to talk about. I kind of went into some like men's stories and stuff like that.
That's always good for people to hear.
Yeah. Men's stories, problems with like, my whole thing is I always talk about why I didn't get sober the times before. Like what I didn't learn, yada, yada, yada.
That stuff's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you go wrong?
Right. So that's what I try. I try to get to where I go.
Because you thought people, place, and things didn't apply to you.
No, I moved all the time.
but you found the same people in other places. And
doing the same things.
And the same things in other places.
Doing the same things. Yep. Yeah, I switched it up though for a little while out west. Anything else you want to add on people, places, and things? We're about out of time.
Yeah, we're about out of time. I think it's just like, look, getting sober is about following directions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if somebody says don't go there, then just don't. Like, I know it's difficult, but I guess too, you got to believe in somebody. You know, for a lot of us, it's like, it's how like all 12-step recovery started. Like one person actually believed in the other person.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of what's like hard about addiction treatment is that, you know, if you get a client who doesn't connect with the counselor or whoever,
mm-hmm.
it's just not going to do anything.
Right.
There's got to be that connection. You've got to be able to believe that person can help you.
Mm-hmm.
There's some sort of like psychological nut that gets cracked. It's why at a lot of treatment centers, like, you know, the clients will report that like a certain tech or a certain AA speaker who came in or, you know, was the most influential person, not the counselor or the case manager. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or it was that one person that like spent a little extra time with them and paid attention to what was going on. So,
mm-hmm.
But you know, the willingness to change really has to come from within. And then being able to like grab a hold of some directions and really follow them.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree. So thank you to whoever that was on the YouTube page who asked for clarification on that. Thank you, of course, for watching. If you or anyone you know is struggling, please reach out to Ian. What's your phone number?
The business line is 609-709-4205. You can also get us on Facebook, email, the website, whatever. Also, if you are enjoying our format of the last 2 episodes, we've kind of been doing a little bit more free flow, chit-chatty type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you think we should go back to the more generic topic and try to keep it at a topic. Let us know. Yeah, any feedback you guys want to give us would be fantastic. I mean, we have like, I think 3 followers.
What do you mean 3
I'm
followers?
being sarcastic.
Oh, on the podcast.
Yeah.
Download it on your phone, please.
Yeah, download it. I mean,
boost those numbers up.
In all seriousness, like if you want to hear us talk about something or rant about, you know, my bad tattoos or whatever, please let us know. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Bye.